Okay, so this is going to be important to make sure you write down because you're going to need this on the test, and since you get to use your notes on the test, you'll have all this information in front of you. Okay, if you don't have your notes, then you're obviously not going to be able to use it. So what these are percent and fraction equivalents. Okay, 20% we know is 20 over 100, which reduces to 1/5. Okay, so these are just the reduced forms. So 30% is 3/10, 40% is 2/5, so on and so forth. So these are by your units of 10. Okay, my pen's not working. These are your units of 25, and 50s are over here. So that would go in this case, 1/4 and 3/4. And these are your ones that use our repeating decimals, so 33 1/3% and 66 2/3%. Okay, we want to make sure we use the fraction forms of those especially because otherwise they are repeating decimals. So we're going to be estimating with percents, and we continue to use compatible numbers when we estimate. Okay, meaning numbers that are going to work well with one another. Okay, the whole point is that you're trying to choose a percent, and the number you're finding the percent of that is going to work well with the other. And we've already done problems like this when we did estimating with fractions. Okay, so we're just going to continue that on. And I'll refer back to this page and what you have written down as we go forward. So I'm going to estimate each percent. 48% of 76. So what you want to do first is change your percent to an easy percent to work with. Okay, so look back here. 48%, the thing it's closest to is going to be 50. We don't really have anything else that it's closest to. So I'm going to change this to 50%, which is the fraction 1/2. Now, because we're dealing with compatible numbers, we want to be able to take half of 76 evenly, meaning we're going to multiply it. Of means to multiply. So we're going to multiply by 76. If it's a number that works well with your fraction, you can keep it. If it's not, then you would need to change this number as well. Okay? But since when I multiply, put this over a 1, I can see that a 2 can go into 76 because it is even. So I'm going to simplify or cross reduce by 2. So this becomes a 1. 76 divided by 2. Now guys, you can use a calculator if you need to. Remember, it's a point where we can use calculators. So 76 divided by 2 is 38. And then I'm going to multiply across. 1 times 38 is 38. 1 times 1 is 1. This equals 38, and that is your answer. Okay, we do want to see this work, even though you get to use a calculator. That should be part of it. So whatever you change your percent in your number to, that should be written. Okay, so I changed this to 50%. I kept this the same. Okay, show me what this fraction equivalence is, and that's from your chart. Multiply by the number of. Okay, you can cross reduce and then multiply across. There's my solution. So I have 18% of 42. So I have to look back at my chart. 18% is going to be closest to 20%. Okay? So I'm going to change 18 to 20%. And 20% as a fraction is 1/5. Okay? Actually, wait, time out. It's 4/5. Nope, 1/5 is right. Okay, so 1/5. So I'm taking 1/5 of 42. Well, 42 you'll see is not compatible with 5. So I need to change 42 to a different number as well. So 18% to 20%, I want this number to be a number that 5 can divide into. Well, we know a number that 5 can divide into is 40. So not only did I change my percent, I also am going to change the number that I'm multiplying by. So I'm going to cross reduce by 5, and you get 1/8. And once again, this has to do with compatible numbers, which we have learned about before. So 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 over 1 equals 8. And that is my solution. Okay? 73% of 41. So 73% is closest to 75. Okay, 73 is closer to 75 than even it is to 70. So I'm going to change 73 to 75%, which is equivalent to 3/4. So once again, I'm multiplying the 41. Now, 41 is not compatible with 4, but I can change the 41 to 40, and now it is. So once again, I've changed that number to a compatible number using my estimation. So I'm multiplying. I'm going to divide by 4, and I get 1. 40 divided by 4 is 10. Now you are multiplying across. Notice how it's not going to be 10. This is a 3. So 3 times 10 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer is 30. Okay, pay attention to your fractions. The other ones both had a 1 at the top, meaning this was my answer. But if it doesn't have the 1 at the top, like 3/4 or 2/5 or 3/10, you need to make sure you're multiplying the numerators over the product of the denominators. Okay? Last one, 67% of 30. If I look back at 67%, what's going to be closest? Well, 70 is close, but 66 2/3 is the closest. So I'm going to change 67% to 66 2/3%, which is the fraction 2/3. Okay, I'm going to take 2/3 times 30, and it works out that these are compatible, so I can leave them alone. I'm going to cross reduce by 3. This becomes a 1, and this becomes a 10. Once again, we need to make sure we're multiplying our numerator in there as well. So 2 times 10 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. The answer is 20, and that is our solution. Okay, so what you're doing is you're changing your percent first to the closest percent possible from our list. And then if you need to, you're going to change the number that you're multiplying by in order to make sure it's compatible with the fraction that you have chose. Okay, you are showing all of your work here, but you may use a calculator when you're doing your reducing. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you ask Mr. Kohler and I tomorrow before you begin your assignment. Thanks for watching.